dying, restarting, dying again. That endless loop is the very backbone of roguelikes. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the genre, but a lot of you are. And with the year coming to an end, it only felt right to do this. So today I'll be putting together a carefully curated list of the best roguelikes of 2025, and as usual, the whole thing will be offline cause that's how I roll. Let's start things off with Dandy Ace. This is a top-down hack and slash roguelike dungeon crawler quite reminiscent of Hades and that whole Hades style formula. Here you are actually a magician trapped in the magical labyrinth mirror of your green-eyed jealous rival. It's up to you to fight through the hordes of enemies using your magical cards and seek the exit before you are destroyed by your envious foe. Visually it's bright, colorful and energetic. I haven't sunken any time into this myself, but even at glance you can tell what makes it tick. And if you've been looking for something that scratches that Hades itch, especially on the Android space, this one will stand out. Dandy is available on Android and iOS, and yes, it's a paid game. Next up is Astraea, Six-Sided Oracle. At first glance, it looks like a classic turn-based deck builder, but that's where the similarities kind of begin to fade. Instead of cards, the game revolves around a dice-based system, flipping the usual formula on its head, and that looks interesting. The gameplay balances two opposing powers, purification and corruption, and you are constantly switching between them to survive and grow stronger. What really sets it apart though is the sheer variety. There are over 300 unique dice to select, each one feeding directly into both gameplay and story. Speaking of the story, it's surprisingly beautiful. It followed the descendants of fallen heroes, all chasing redemption while trying to live up to what came before them. Clearly people agree with it, the download counts speak for themselves. Six-Sided Oracle is available on Android and iOS, and it is paid. Red Ronin is a severely underrated pixel-style grid-based hack and slash where you play as a vengeful Ronin known as Red, trying to take out a huge organization that betrayed her. And oh, she has a bot companion named Isaac. Kind of cute. When I say this is severely underrated, I'm not joking. With just 100 downloads, even though I'm technically cheating due to the fact that Red Ronin was released all the way back in 2023, you know I had to put it in because of its way underrated. Gameplay revolves around a tight grid-based system. Every move you make triggers movement from the enemies and traps as well, so each step has to count. One wrong move and you're either impaled, crushed or caught in some nasty mechanism. It is fast, tactical and brutally precise. You understand this if you watch the current trailer on your screen. I found Red Ronin very deep in the Play Store and I've been trying to shine a light on it for a while now. And even though I'm not usually into roguelikes, I am into games that try something different, and this one does. This is going to make it 2 times of talking about this game in less than a month, but Foretales deserve that spot. Another severely underrated card deck builder that I happened to come across a few months back. It is basically set in a D&D world where you play as a thief with the ability to see the future, and surprise surprise, the world is about to end. It's up to you and your unruly band of mates to save it or just watch it get destroyed. It has gorgeous graphics set in an anthropomorphic world where you play as humanoid animals, so yeah, I think it's a really fun one. It's available on Android and iOS, and it is a paid game. The Oceanhorn series is easily one of my favorite franchises in gaming, even though I have never gotten the chance to play Oceanhorn 2. So when Oceanhorn Chronos Dungeon finally landed on mobile, it had me pretty excited. It is a pixel-based dungeon crawler with local co-op, and at its core, it sounds a lot of fun. That said, I won't lie, the fact that it leans into roguelike elements did turn it off a little for me, but that's just because it's not my favorite flavor. Still, outside of that, it's a very solid experience. The gameplay revolves around diving deeper into randomized dungeons in search of the time sphere, set in a timeline that predates the events of both Oceanhorn 1 and Oceanhorn 2. It is available for both mobile devices, and it is a paid game. Devolver Digital decided to grace us this year with a 2-for-1 release, Enter the Gungeon and Exit the Gungeon. Both are roguelikes and they both play quite differently. Enter the Gungeon being a bullet hell dungeon crawler where you're trying to find the center of the gungeon, while Exit the Gungeon is more of a platform-based Contra 4 bullet-like shooter where you are trying to exit the now conquered dungeon that is collapsing under its own weight. The games are very colorful, pixel-oriented masterpieces that already have a strong following on console. I haven't had a chance to play the game, but it's available on both Android and iOS, and they are paid. Alright, moving on from dungeon crawlers for a sec, let's talk about a bullet hell mining roguelike, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. This is a more recent entry into the bullet heaven formula. You play as a dwarf dropped onto a hostile alien planet, forced to mine resources for a corporation while fending off endless swarms of creatures that really don't want you up there. Each wave ramps up the danger, but you're also constantly getting stronger, unlocking new weapons, buying turrets and stacking upgrades until the screen is pure controlled chaos. A true classic style bullet hell like Vampire Survivor. It's a solid release for roguelike fans. Go check it out. It's available on Android and iOS and it is paid. Still on the bullet hell roguelike formula, we got Slime 2K Despots game. These are not entry into the Despots game universe, but this time you play as a slime that's had enough of the robot overlords. Naturally, that means you are now swarmed by endless waves of humans and mutants, and you have to plow through them whilst getting stronger. It's the classic 1 vs all bullet hell roguelike with all the shenanigans that come with it, alongside the addictive god complex it kind of induces. It's not my cup of tea or anything, but it's still a pretty good game nonetheless, with gorgeous graphics and visuals. It's available on Android and iOS and it is paid. Shogun Shodown is the Crunchyroll's addition to the roguelike space this year. It's a tactical turn-based roguelike, but instead of the usual grid or card system, combat plays out in a horizontal plane. Moving along, it's as it to either attack and evade using the kind of card or points you have on your hand. The real magic comes from its combo system. With the right positioning and timing, you can chain attacks together into a devastating sequence, wiping multiple enemies off the map in one clean move. It's honestly a bit hard to explain without seeing it in action, but that's kind of the point. It doesn't play like anything else, and that alone earns it some points for creativity. You can get the game if you have a Crunchyroll account, but knowing a lot of you, that's kind of a deal breaker, isn't it? Monster Train really did catch my interest. A one-of-a-kind turn-based deck builder where you play as the last defense of hell, an ever-moving train that houses the last flames of hell, fighting off waves of angelic forces determined to snuff you out. Combat happens across 3 stacked levels of a train. Each turn you strategically place enemies, and as the battle progresses, they move between levels, making every decision matter. It's a bit tricky to explain, but once you see it in action, it clicks immediately. Monster Train is available on Android and iOS and it is paid. It's definitely worth checking out if you like tactical roguelikes. And here they are, the top 10 best roguelikes of 2025. Did you find any game you think is worth playing? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you greatly for watching, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out though.